Welcome to the Creature Cast, the official Console Creatures podcast. I'm your host today, Steve Vegvarian. Alongside me, as always, my good pal, Bobby. How the heck are you today?
I'm doing beautiful, Steve. We're in the post Silksong era. How are we feeling?
Oh,
That's what's
buddy,
going on.
we're feeling real good. We're feeling
Uh,
the vibes are high coming into this episode.
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree because this game came out and the world just went to shit.
Fair
Have
enough.
you noticed that? Have you
Fair
noticed
enough.
this?
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure everyone listening knows the dire straits of the world right now. Am I going to say that is Team Cherry's fault? No,
No,
but
that's not their fault.
pretty
They held everyone
pretty
together.
coincidental.
It's a coincidence, but man, it's an interesting coincidence. I just noticed that. I was just like, Silksong's out and the world's on fire. So
Yeah.
but
It's
okay.
it's pretty bad. But that being said, I mean it's nice that we all have video games to kind of latch on to, escape,
Mhm.
and kind of distract ourselves from the real world. I hope everyone out there is keeping well, keeping sane, keeping respectful out there. But no, coming back to Silksong. I mean, we kind of talked about the vibes going into its release last week. We kind of got caught in between. We were recorded a day early before it came out last week, and now we're about a week removed from its release across all platforms. And I mean, this for me has been a long time coming. It's been 7 years of waiting for this game, waiting for Team Cherry to be ready to deliver this game, and I'm excited to talk all about it, to be honest.
I'm here to listen to you because like I just said before we started, I haven't even bought it yet. I
Yep.
feel like something's wrong. I just don't know where to buy it, and like I have people pulling me on both sides saying get it on Switch, but that has OLED, and like I said, higher frame rate. So it's like, which one do I want?
That's fair. That's totally fair. For me, I mean, Hollow Knight was a Nintendo Switch game when it first came out, and that's why I played it originally, and then I played it on Xbox, and then eventually my ROG Ally. But yeah, mainlining it right now, I'm playing it on Xbox. I picked it up because, funny enough, so for people who weren't really paying attention or maybe were offline when the game came out on the September 4th, it crashed every single
Yeah, I remember that was
digital
crazy.
storefront, whether it was the eShop, whether it was Steam, whether it was a PlayStation store,
I think some people
everything.
even bought on. I think some people even got on Wii U. I saw some people playing on Wii U.
A Wii U?
Yeah, I saw some. Maybe it was a ship post, but some guy was playing it on Wii U.
So they originally pitched that as part of their Kickstarter, but that got canceled. So I think you might have got duped there.
Oh man, that would have been a great way to just say, "Hey, we're still, supporting the
That
Wii
would be
U."
cool. Yeah. But so the first platform that I could get through was redeem it on Xbox Game Pass and then install it that way remotely. Actually, I had to go through like the PC browser, remote install it through the Xbox app, and then I finally got it there within like 5 minutes of launch time. So I've been playing it on Xbox first and foremost, and I'm one of two minds about Hollow Knight Silksong, and that's going to be, I think this game is very much Hollow Knight 1.5, if you will. And what I mean by that is that given that, it's been 7 years, given that this game was supposed to be this, isolated piece of DLC that then grew into a standalone standalone game from Team Cherry, it still does feel like that DLC in the best way possible, in that I'm coming into this and it feels so much like Hollow Knight. It looks like Hollow Knight. It runs like Hollow Knight. It doesn't feel like that difference.
It's not a big departure. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like that difference between, Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2, Uncharted to Uncharted 2. It very much is, this is Hollow Knight still. It's got, the same look and feel and fidelity. But that being said, I know I'm a little bit biased here in that I already loved Hollow Knight, but I think that this game is a masterpiece in terms of like what it's trying to accomplish, in terms of being this difficult and melodic Metroidvania, having deep systems that you have to master, whether it's the combat, whether it's the traversal, everything that made Hollow Knight stand out as one of the most acclaimed indie games carries over to this game, in my opinion. For better or worse, I still think that there are pain points from Hollow Knight that carry over to this. But that being said, I don't think that the game has done anything radical enough to change to be additive or derivative of what it was before. I think that
Yeah.
is you take a 9 and you just make another 9. You're not really adding anything to it to potentially make it an 8.5 or to make it a 10, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone can truly expect this to be a sequel. I mean, we said it last week. It was just an expansion that got bigger than they anticipated. So, like, rightfully so, it's more of just that, right? Which is fine. I'm all for it. Like, not every game needs to be Assassin's Creed 2 or
Right.
Final Fantasy 2 or whatever sequel you want to iterate on. But like, I'm happy that people are having fun. Like, I'm on the outside looking in, but like, it's fun to see everyone. It was just like, what was that big game that everyone was doing? I think I can't remember. It was like a couple years ago. Everyone was playing at the same time. I think maybe it was Monster Hunter Worlds. Or
okay. Yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah.
Every time there's a big game that everyone's just playing at the same time. Like, I'm happy people are having fun. That's all I really care about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Is, are people? It's it's a cultural milestone. This game, like, this is Silksong. This is a game that you said 7 years in the making. People have literally, spewed, clown makeup every trying to direct on themselves. Like, they cover themselves and cake themselves in makeup, and they finally got their wish. So you know what? It's great. And lo and behold, it's getting incredible reception. Every review is like a 10. But
yeah,
on the flip side, I just want to preface that was I'm kind of worried about how fast these reviews are going out because, as you know, this game is ridiculously difficult. So, like, how are these people beating it so fast? Because you're losing all the magic of all the secrets that are still hidden in this game, right? And that's what I'm kind of worried about. Is like, people are rushing to review it. It's like, but this is a game where clearly the developers want you to wait and take your time with it because no one got it before launch day. So, like, why are we rushing?
And that's kind of where I come into this episode as well. Like, I do want to preface that even me talking about this is very much a review in progress. I'm taking my time with this game.
Yeah.
So much to my surprise, like, I've been trying to avoid a lot of the spoilers, a lot of the clips on TikTok, a lot of the conversation about this game, because like you said, there are so many secrets, there are so many things to discover organically and be surprised by the game as well. Last night, for instance, I was going through it and I reached this part where I was like, okay, I must be getting to a pivotal moment of this game. And I beat this boss after an hour and a half of just banging my head against the wall. The last judge, people who are playing the game will know. And I get through this, and then you hit a cinematic, and then it just says Act 2, and I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" I've just like, and then I kind of realized that yes, this is following like a 3-act structure. I'm only a third of the game, and I probably put in, I want to say, around 20 hours. So I don't want to come into this conversation and be like, this is my definitive view and this is my definitive review of the game in any metric, only because like I am trying to take my time with this game. And that's not to say that, some of the reviewers out there who have put their final stamp on the game haven't. But to your point, yeah, no one got early codes. No one has, got early access to this game ahead of time. So I feel like, and I'm not trying to like make accusations or anything, a lot of people probably did go, hey, I'm going to mainline this because there is side content in Silksong that we can talk about and stuff like that. There's the world is vast. It's expansive in comparison to Hollow Knight. So I do wonder how many people were just like, I want to get through the story. I want to get through Act 1, 2, and 3 just to roll credits, but then kind of miss some of the magic and the nuance along the way.
It's basically like you order like a steak and then you basically you don't even let it cool down. You don't let it, get to temperature. You just munch on it and it's done. It's like, that's not how you enjoy a steak. So I don't know. That's what I'm more concerned about. It's like, how are people beating it so fast? Because 7 years of development and then you beat it in 3 or 4 days and that's it. You move on. It's like
right. You kind of,
and a lot of the
takes away from the experience too.
Yeah, everything's kind of surface level. I haven't read anything that was kind of like, well, there's all these secrets. It's more Hollow Knight. It's good. Go get it. Basically,
which I mean is accurate. I mean
it's accurate, but it's like anyone could write. You could have written that without playing the game.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm interested in seeing like
you're not wrong.
Reviewing it and saying like, hey, this is all the stuff I saw. This is what I did. Blah blah blah. I went down this path and like I got stuck here, but like it was really cool because I did this or I found this. None of them have done that I've seen so far. And I'm sure there are some. It's just they haven't made their way across my desk, but the ones I have seen, it's like, come on, guys, this is Silksong.
I'm sure those will come out more and more. Now that we are kind of entering the second week of this game, but yeah, even throughout the first act of this game, it does very much feel like Hollow Knight, or worse. I mean, if you're hoping that this game dwindles down the difficulty or makes it a little more accessible in nature of its combat and its mechanics, it's still very punishing. It demands a lot out of you. To me, like even coming into this right off the gate, Hornet as a character has this like downward like slash attack, which is very different from Hollow Knight. So I was actively trying to retrain my brain because in Hollow Knight there's a combat system called like the pogo, where you just like parry and hit enemies like on the top of their head, and you can like retain yourself in the air while dealing out some damage. But that was very difficult right off the bat because Hornet goes diagonally, and I was like, oh my god, I have to like
I've heard about
train my brain.
Yeah. That's cool. Like that stuff's kind of cool, and it's like stuff like that. It's like I would love to learn more about that, more than just like I said, more of this. Like I'm more excited to hear what you think than other people. Basically, it comes down to that. But more than anything, it's just like why are you excited about this game? Like what made you wait so long? I'm more interested in like your journey with this game, like in the broad sense than just saying like, than the generic stuff we're seeing. Like I that's what I love about games like this. It's just everyone's got a story to it, or some kind of attachment. It's like, okay, what's your story? Why does this game resonate with you so much? And like that's what I'm looking forward to. And like you've been pretty vocal about why this game means so much to you. So it's like, cool. We need to hear more of these kind of stories than just here's my standard take on this game. And like I think I'm over that kind of milestone of just here's a game, I played it.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, even coming into Silksong, it was itching for that process of mastering traversal plus combat, because so much of Hollow Knight, and especially in Silksong, is like getting to the boss room, understanding the mechanics, the patterns and stuff like that, and taking what tools that you've kind of like learned along the way, whether it's a new power or a new item that you get, but it's also learning how to like navigate. People bring up the boss runs, like that stretch of the map to get from a save bench all the way into a boss room and stuff like that. And especially with the last judge that I brought up before, one of the most difficult parts was like even getting to the room with all of your health intact, so that when you get to the boss, which was very difficult to begin with, you're not just like on one bar of health or anything. You have that. So I think it's like that marriage between understanding how to do the traversal, to do the platforming and that Metroidvania half of it, and then mix it in with the combat, whether or not it's the grunts or the boss rooms as well. I think like even one of the most difficult parts, and it's difficult, but it's also very interesting, is how Team Cherry like approach the difference between how Hollow Knight plays and how Hornet plays, because in Silksong, you take twice as much damage, even just on like baseline enemies and everything, versus what Hollow Knight does. Like if you get hit, you take like 2 chunks of health, but Hornet is able to use the accumulation of silk to heal herself quicker and do it in the air as well. So you get this kind of like trade-off of, you're taking twice as much damage, but I could like jump, hold myself to a wall, jump again, get myself out of the reach of enemies, and then heal and get back into the fight. So it's this push and pull where it feels difficult at first blush when you get hit and you're like, oh my god, like a third of my health is gone.
Yeah.
but it's easier to heal yourself along the way. So I feel like Team Cherry really did take its time and approach the game of like, hey, I want to encapsulate what makes Hollow Knight so special and so gravitating to so many players, but make it so different as well. Like I
Yeah.
brought up, the parry system of the downward slash, and as well as the healing. Like in Silksong, Hornet plays completely different. It's just like a retraining of your brain that I don't really see a lot of like games really do. In its quote unquote sequel game of like it's going to
Right.
be so super familiar, but you're going to have to retrain. It's like teaching yourself how to ride a bike all over again.
Which is fair. I mean, you play a game for so long, you get comfortable with it, and then suddenly it's
Yeah.
like, well, here's our sequel, but we've changed a bunch of things. Like that's kind of what I felt like playing. Oh God, what was I playing? Jeez, it was recent too. I think it was the last. Jeez, I can't remember. I think it was Assassin's Creed Shadows because I was playing Valhalla before, and they changed the button and a bunch of stuff. And like I think I was Valhalla was a couple months ago, and like just reacclimating to all these things, and remembering, or even recently, I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey this week just because I wanted to go back, and like I had to retrain everything because like it's not like the newer games. So I understand what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, but like it's a little bit different when you're playing a Silksong because like you said, that game is super challenging compared to like what I'm playing. But like, yeah, I get it. And it's a good learning lesson to, be able to adjust and acclimate to whatever environment you're in. And this is a whole new environment for the series, where Team Cherry's Silksong is completely different than I wouldn't say completely. It's somewhat different than the Hollow Knight. So cool. Like I'm all for it. Like I think I'm still just intimidated by the difficulty. Like I'm a big FromSoft player, and it's just like this game's still kind of intimidating. I think that's why I haven't bought it yet. Partially, outside of just like the frame rate. It's like, do I have time for a game that's just challenging right now? Because there's so much to play. Like,
I think that's totally fine. I mean, yeah, even last night it got to a point where I was fighting this boss and I was there for like an hour and a half. And I was like, I know I have, redacted games to be playing for review for the show and everything. I was like, do I just keep butting my head against the wall trying to get past this, or do I kind of move on and bide my time with another game? But I managed to get it through, thankfully. But I mean, you even hear stories, and like Team Cherry had to put out a quick patch to mitigate some of the first bosses, because I mean, even myself going through it, I was like, man, this feels like it ramps up super quickly. Like the first couple of bosses, I was like, okay, I'm getting, my feet wet, I'm feeling good. And then you had like a couple others, and I was like, oh my God, this game is relentless with its difficulty.
That was like the first Berserker, because it was hard. That game's hard. It's super hard. Anyone who plays it will tell you. I don't know if you played it, but
no, I have not.
It starts off as hard as rocks, and like it doesn't let up. And like there's a time and place, and there's a market for it. But man, like if you don't know how to play those games, like you're not having a good time. And it's just like I get it. And like I love those games. Like I love FromSoft games. I love the Neo games. I love Team Ninja. I love all of them. It's just, those are games you really need to invest all your time in. Like, you can't be playing 2 or 3 games. You get tripped up too easily, and that was what happened with me with like Elden Ring or what was I playing? Metroid Dread. When Metroid Dread came out, like I was playing 2 or 3 games, and like I would get tripped up because some of the bosses are super difficult, especially when you're trying to face the Emma, I think they're called. Those robot enemies that would like stalk you, and like they're challenging, but like I would get caught up into what I was playing just because like the controls, confuse them with another game. It's like you really cannot play anything else for like however long it takes to beat it. And I think that's kind of what Silksong is. It's like you need like a solid 2 weeks to play this game easily.
And that's what I'm kind of hoping, is that I can kind of prioritize this game while keeping other ones like kind of on the back burner without really losing that muscle memory that kind of this game kind of requires. Because right now I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling very competent with the mechanics and the timing of all these attacks and everything. But I know that if I move on to something and kind of pull myself away from Silksong for too long, it's going to be going to be a disaster right now. But so far I'm really enjoying my time with it. I think Team Cherry just also knows like how to design levels and make them look aesthetically pleasing and everything. I think, you know, coming off of Hollow Knight, having a world filled with, you know, bugs and little critters and making them, you know, actual characters and stuff like that, I think really worked really well in Hollow Knight. And I think they doubled down on that extremely well with the new, you're in a totally different area called Farloom, which is, from what Team Cherry has said, is like twice as big as what they've even created for Hollow Knight, like the map size and everything. Like it just feels super expansive. The enemy variety is even bigger than it was in Hollow Knight. I think that they said that this game has around 200 enemies compared to around 140 within the Void Heart edition. And then there's 40 bosses, both minor and major bosses to go through as well. And some of them have like amazing design elements and, you know, attack patterns and everything like that. They look really, really, really cool. I won't spoil any of them, but some of them are like, holy shit, the atmosphere, what the particle effects that are coming off of them, the way that they're attacking and moving just looks so damn good on this game. It really just does fit the tapestry that is Silksong.
And that's all I've heard is just, you know, all these small things, like you're saying, like even the animations are like top notch. And like, I love the animations in both games. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to this game. I'm dreading having to begin it because I know that it's that time investment. So like, I hope to hear you beat it soon. I feel like, how far do you feel you're in? So you said there's like 3 acts, I believe.
There's 3 acts. From what I know, second act is kind of smaller, and then third act ramps up again. So I don't know. I would probably say with 20 hours in, I'd probably say like closer to 50 at the end of it. So maybe just under halfway through the game. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm taking my time. There's also in the game, they've incorporated like quote unquote like side quests, which they call wishes. So you'll come across NPCs and everything, and they'll be like, hey, I need you to go do this thing, which usually for the most part results in having to find another NPC somewhere out in the world or anything, or kill a certain amount of specific enemies to get an item for them and then bring them back. Like it's very, you know,
stuff,
surface levels, fetch questy kind of stuff, and just kind of like check the boxes of this. I don't really mind it, but at a certain point, some of it does feel like busy work because you do have to grind some of the enemies in certain areas. Like one of them that I'm doing right now is like you have to go out and find these like bird characters and get I think like 20 items from them. So I'm just doing this like loop over and over again, just killing the birds. I was like, I'm having fun with it because I like the combat. I like the traversal and everything. I know that I'm just wasting time doing this. I'm sure it incorporates itself into the story or, you know, add something there, but it doesn't feel like a fleshed out system that I was kind of hoping it would, knowing that this game had, you know, side quests in them. But yeah, you do get some like interesting, you know, perks and bonuses out of them every so often, but they're not must do activities. I think like, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, is it a sequel? Like, do you see what is it like or is it a prequel? Like, that's what I'm curious. Like, I don't know nothing about it. Like, I've just tried to. Is it like do you see characters from the first game or
it's a sequel?
Okay, so it is a sequel. Okay, I figured I heard that, but like I just wasn't sure if it was true or not. But do you see any returning characters, stuff like that, or like what, like how?
I don't want to go too far into who returns, who doesn't return, stuff like that. The game starts out as that a Hornet is kidnapped from Hollow Nest and brought to Farloom, and then kind of like escapes her captors, and then is just basically on her way to get out of this area.
Right.
So you are very far removed from where the first game takes place.
Okay.
There really isn't any indication of like how much time has passed or anything like that. But it is very standalone as well. You don't need to know. I mean, for people who don't know, Hollow Knight has like an incredible amount of lore that I don't even understand. I've watched like video essays on it and stuff like that. And it's very, very deep. And even this game I'm going through, I'm like, wow, the lore of this is kind of like on a From Software level where there are so many, deep references to things that I'm just not really understanding. And then, it throws me off because you're dealing with a kingdom of bugs and gods and lords and everything. I'm like, this is wild stuff. But I feel like I'm just retaining like 20% of what, exactly. So I'm looking forward to more people being able to go through it and learn about it and kind of like digest it for me. And then I'll learn about it that way, just like I did with Hollow Knight.
And that's why I was kind of annoyed when like just shocked more than anything. The games were, or reviews were out within a week. I'm like, there's just, like I know the first game was kind of deep, and I see so many like articles on deep lore dives and stuff, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
you guys figured all that out in 5 days. Like that's pretty impressive. I don't think I could even beat Elden Ring in 5 days when it came out. So it's like I struggled when it was coming out, and like I know they're different games and all that, but like the idea is the same. It's like savor. I like to savor it. I guess that's what I'm just bitter about. Just savor your meals, man, guys. Come on. But
I think for games that matter, I feel like you kind of do take away from just like rushing through it. I did the exact same thing with Elden Ring and Death Stranding 2, two games that I knew were going to mean a lot to me, so I kind of omitted myself from really wanting to push through it and kind of just digest it at my own pace and kind of play it at my own pace, kind of really take time to appreciate the music, which is incredible in this game. The secrets in this game, there are some that, like, there are secret areas, much like Hollow Knight, that would shock you to even be able to find and everything. I just love poking and prodding at like every single wall, wondering, am I going to be able to break through this wall and find a hidden path to some treasure and stuff like that. I'm just having a lot of fun with it so far in taking my time, not rushing through it, and just getting my ass kicked by some of these bosses too. And I'm not upset about it either.
No, you can't be. I mean, it's just it's part of the experience is learning to overcome these obstacles, and that's why I love these kind of games. But like I said, it comes back to that time investment. Like, who can dedicate unless you're not in the games industry like we are, like, you cannot dedicate 2 weeks to anything to just play it in a bubble. There's no way. Like, I'm bouncing between 3 other games right now, and like they're all difficult. Like, we can say, I think we can say we're playing Ghost of Yotai because we are. I'm trying to balance.
We are,
with a couple other things. So it's like, they're all mechanically different, and like there's so many things you got to remember. Mm-hmm. So like this game here is all muscle memory. You got to learn to avoid getting hit more than anything. The whole thing is to not get hit in Hollow Knight or Silksong. You get a couple hits and then you back off, and like that's hard to remember because like I like to dive in and strike as many times as I can. So it's like learning to take that step back. It's basically what you said. It's like muscle memory. Relearning everything because like it's hard to do it in these bubbles. So it's like this is going to be my Christmas game. I'll probably end up buying it today just because you've talked about it so much. So it's going to be my Christmas game because I have 2 weeks off. I'm literally going to try and clear out my backlog because we have Game of the Year coming up, and then we have games of top game of 2025. Christmas is going to be Silksong. I want to do it. I just seeing you talk about it and reading threads on Reddit and just seeing people just having the best time of their life playing this game is sad to see from the outside, but like I'm excited to finally dive in because like I haven't seen one thing that's kind of been just like a major negative. It's all surface level stuff, like just like it's small stuff and just like it's fine. I'm all for it. So like I'm looking forward to it. I pray that Team Cherry takes this opportunity to fix whatever issues that people are having with the game, and then kind of maybe start something fresh. I would love to see what their game is going to be because like 2 for 2 is pretty good. Make it a triple now. Let's see what they can do. Are they going to do like I mean, would you ever expect to see this series in a 3D open world kind of not open world, but like transition to like open hub or something, like just something more explorable, open-ended, kind of like I would say still Metroidvania, just 3D. I feel like they could
see. I feel like they could. I have nothing but faith in this team now, knowing that they came off Hollow Knight and they kept that quality going and everything. There are certainly different ways that different avenues that they could go down and everything. For people who don't know, like originally this was supposed to come out as a piece of DLC, and then there was supposed to be a second piece of DLC for a third character. I personally don't want them to do that. I hope that Silksong is treated as, the successor to Hollow Knight and they kind of move on and do something else. Maybe under the Hollow Knight banner, but do a different game. The thing that I really don't want them to do, and this is purely looking from the past, I don't want them to go the Shovel Knight route where it takes them so long to do another thing that we look at the studio and we're like, are they even the same studio that we knew when Shovel Knight came out? Like,
no, they
had into so many different spin-offs, and I don't know. I think that they lost their magic in terms of like
they did.
What I was hoping
they did
from
because
them.
they diluted the character and the franchise by putting it out in so many things, and like I get that they wanted to strike while the iron was hot, but like at this point,
Of course,
if I never play Shovel Knight ever again, I probably don't care. I love the first game. I think there was a second. Like, they did a second game that I kind of liked. I remember it was like a 2D side scroller. Something it was different, but like that's it. Like they killed it for me. Like I don't even care what they do with that character anymore. And I don't want that happening with this brand, because it seems to be like that's like the industry standard is, you make a character, it resonates, and then suddenly they're everywhere. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't need it. You're just going to...
I agree.
You just basically, you ruin any stock people have put into you. Yeah, so.
No, exactly. And I feel like you oversaturate the character, you oversaturate the market with that kind of game. So I hope that they kind of have the restraint of being like, yeah, we did Hollow Knight. It was great. We let it, proliferate for quite a long time, 7 years. Now we moved on to Silksong. I know that they talked about about supporting this game for the next little while. So I'm assuming that they're going to do quote unquote like another Void Heart edition where they add like an expansion to this game at some point, which is going to be great. But I do want to see what they're going to do next. I want them to be able to not be, stuck of working on a game for another 7 years. I hope that maybe given, they have the freedom of doing whatever they want. They have carte blanche as far as I'm concerned in terms of whatever game that they want to make. Maybe, if they can make something that's digestible and sustainable in 3-4 years, that would be amazing. I don't want them to get bogged down by the expectations of me, the fan, or just the general audience anymore of like, this game has to be a 9 because you spent 7 years on this. What are you going to do next? It has to be another 9. I would rather them move on and make something cool. That's all.
I feel like they are really good at what they do. So you know what? I'm all for it. Like, let's see what they can do now. Like, more to the point, like step outside. Let's have them step outside their bubble. We'll do something like shock the system. Just make something that no one would have expected. Like I feel like that has to be their next step. So
that's true.
I agree with you.
The other thing that I want to bring up, and this was a game that I got to see at Summer Game Fest last year, was Crowsworn, which is a very, and I'll call it like a Hollow Light game. It's made by Mongoose Rodeo, and this game feels like a direct inspiration of what Hollow Knight was. And it's a Metroidvania, just like it has a very gothic kind of Bloodborne-esque aesthetic to it. It's made by a studio out here in London, Ontario, so a Canadian game as well. So I do want to put that on everyone's radar, that now that we've taken off the makeup of Silksong, this is going to be the next game that I kind of obsess over, because when I played it at Summer Game Fest, this game fucking rocked, and it was difficult, just like Hollow Knight. Sorry?
Crowsworn. I gotta look it up. Maybe I missed it because we were there. I don't even know.
Crowsworn.
Pro Swarm. Okay.
Yeah, we were both there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know what?
no release date.
I remember this.
You do? Yeah.
I do remember this. This looks great. I remember, this looks great. And people were talking about it at Play Days.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Actually,
obsessed
at Play Days, yeah. But again, when I spoke to them last year, spoke to the team, it felt like it was still very early days. So I feel like this will be one that we're waiting on for at least another year or so. But go check it out. Go check out the trailer. Go check out some gameplay because it's a really, really cool Hollow Light.
So just to chime in, they have a Kickstarter and they pledged $125,000 Canadian. They earned $1.25 million pledged.
Holy fuck!
Yeah. So they hit all their goals basically.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They put out a free Crow Kart game that you can download on Steam.
Oh no way! Okay, cool. I'm gonna look into that.
But yeah, I'm looking at their Kickstarter right now. Like, it's clearly there's 20,000 people back in this game, so clearly there is a market for more of these games.
Yeah.
And cool. I'm glad you brought it up because I honestly forgot about this game.
Yeah, it's described as a mix between Hollow Knight, Bloodborne, and Devil May Cry. So people can look forward to that.
I've just wish listed it on my Steam account, so I'm gonna follow it. But yeah, this looks incredible.
Nice. Bobby, was there anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, I wish I could. There's a couple of things I'm working on. Maybe I can just, you know what? I just wrapped up my Chronos, the New Dawn second playthrough just to get the true ending. I know I mentioned it to you off camera, but this game is fucking sick. I love it. It is
nice.
Way better than I intended it to be. It is honestly I wouldn't even say spiritual successor to Dead Space. It is the successor to Dead Space. It is really more of what I love about Dead Space, but with, you know, a different time, whatever you want to call it, like a time mechanic. And like, I love it. I love what they've done with it.
Yep.
There's time loops, there's viruses, it's all the stuff you like in these kind of games. It's more horror survival than action adventure, like the later Resident Evil games. So it is a true, you know, edge of your seat, hairs on the back of your neck standing up, you know, walking down hallways. And oh man, there's some great stuff that happens later on in the second half where you're just exploring these locations that are just so grotesque, filled with like these horrors that like I don't know even who thought of them, but like it really scratches that itch that we're not getting because Dead Space has somehow died again. I'm really bummed we're not getting.
It's really Dead Space now.
Yeah, this is really Dead Space. But like, man, I urge everyone to play this game. I don't care where you play it; it plays really well on Steam. On Steam Deck, it plays really well on Switch too. It plays incredible on PlayStation and Xbox. Pick your place, play it, and just like. Play it a couple times because there are 3 endings. The first 2 are very like they're fine, but the third time you play on New Game Plus kind of really shows you the true ending. I don't really like that mechanic, but it was a game I was like, I'm gonna play it again. You end up just powering.
How long is the game?
I think I beat it in 15, 16 hours. It's short.
Oh, okay, but cool. I have it queued up. I do want to play it hopefully soon.
It's super difficult. Like the first playthrough will basically piss you off because you are dying all the time. It is one of those games where I'd never expected ammo to be scarce, and it really is scarce. Like you are basically fighting for your life in some encounters, and you will die and die again. And then you just have to kind of just, you know, revisit your strategy. Like you really have to manage your inventory better because there are only 6 slots to begin with, and you can only get to 12 slots, and like that fills up really quickly as you start getting more guns and more ammo, and you know, certain items that basically help you break through doors and stuff. So yeah, play Chronos. It's a great game. Bluebird team has really finally hit their stride. They killed it with Silent Hill 2 remake. Everything they learned in the past like 10 years of game. They really brought to this game, and like it's incredible. I really feel like there is a lack of these games, so if we get more of them, this is
True.
the way to do it. You support this game and play it. It is really like the perfect game to close out the summer. Only thing kind of sucks is I really wish it launched closer to Halloween, but whatever, that's fine. You can play it during Halloween too, but yeah, it is great. And that's all I really have. The rest we can talk about in a couple of weeks. Like I'm really eager to talk about what I'm playing. I'm playing a couple of games that I just I'm gushing over. I'm just so excited to talk about them. So yeah, stay tuned for that, I guess.
Yeah, no, exactly. Stay tuned because we will have so much more over on this podcast. So subscribe to the feeds. Bobby, if people wanted to connect with you online, connect with the website, where could they do so?
Yeah, consolecreatures.com, consolecreatures.com on Bluesky. Check your social feeds. We're there. You can find it. Just look up Console Creatures, and you can find me at BPatchLeaders on all feeds.
Amazing. And you can find me across the internet at svigvari. And again, we appreciate you all. And yeah, we have so much more exciting stuff in the works. So yeah, stay tuned. Appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.